Imagine that you are visiting your parents' place. Nothing special, maybe you are just dropping by to say hello, or it's some kind of a holiday. You are busy, halfway distracted, glancing at your phone every few minutes. Your mind running from a mental list of everything you still have to do today. They are sitting across the room, maybe watching TV or living through a magazine, filling the space with that comfortable, familiar silence. At some point you look up and notice them. Really notice them. There's something a little different, a hint of age in their face that you hadn't seen before, a certain gentleness in the way they are sitting. And in that quiet moment it hits you. This person who's always been there is getting older, leaving a constant in your life, like the backdrop of a story you have been so focused on writing. And you're suddenly aware that they won't always be there. There's this sudden urge to say something, to let them know how much they mean to you. Maybe you even think, I should just tell them I love them. But then almost as quickly you brush it off. You tell yourself it's just another day, that they probably already know, that it's somehow a little too cringy. Saying I love you as an adult to another adult, especially to a parent, just feels different, almost out of place. Instead you settle for something safe, a quick take care or see you later. They smile and nod, maybe even pull you in for a hug. You hug them back, say goodbye, and go back to the world waiting for you outside. Later, in a quieter moment, the thought comes back to you. You start to wonder why you didn't say it. Why didn't you just take that moment to tell them what they mean to you? Because now you're left with this nagging feeling, this tiny ache of regret that won't quite go away. You think back to that familiar room, to that comfortable silence, and realize that these simple, everyday moments are all we really get. And you start to think, maybe it's okay to feel a little awkward. Maybe the things we worry about sounding cringy are the things that matter most. When it comes down to it, we rarely regret saying, I love you. Only the times we didn't. This leaves you with regret and a lingering feeling that you could be better. Martin Heidegger believed that humans, as beings in the world, operate with a natural thoughtlessness. This doesn't mean that we are unaware, but that we live according to a set of ingrained beliefs, the pre-theoretical assumptions about reality that we inherit simply by being part of society. Functioning on everyday basis, we don't think of things like death, or getting older and weaker, miss opportunities and so on. We are fully occupied with our daily tasks. However, this comfortable state can be broken. It only takes a moment of wonder, a realization that something is off or paradoxical, to shake us from it. Perhaps it's the awareness of why we didn't say I love you to a parent, despite knowing it would have made them happy. Instead we hold back, stop by a vague discomfort, a fear of something too vulnerable or cringy. But that realization that something meaningful was left unsaid can lead to regret and even anxiety, a sense that we could have been better in a way that would have cost us nothing. As Dostoyevsky famously said, your worst sin is that you have destroyed and betrayed yourself for nothing. In a sense, we betray ourselves by hiding what we feel, losing touch with the things that make life genuinely worthwhile. Because we don't just simply lack courage to do that, but we are not by default aware of the importance of these things. Only post factum. The regret reminds us what does it mean to be a human being, and that our potential is much greater than we think. There is a concept that is central to Heidegger's understanding of authentic existence, and it's being towards death. At its core, it addresses how our awareness of mortality shapes the way we live, offering both a challenge and an opportunity to embrace life more fully. No one can experience death on our behalf. It is the most individual aspect of existence. While we can witness the deaths of others, the relation to our death is inescapably ours alone. The solitude forces us to confront the limits of our being, cutting through the distractions and dependencies that often shield us from this truth. It's also something certain. But this confrontation with mortality is not meant to lead us into despair. Instead, it is through anticipation, actively acknowledging and accepting our mortality, that we unlock the potential for authentic freedom. This leads us to a paradoxical yet profound insight. Freedom is not found in denying necessity, such as the inevitability of death. In embracing the reality of our mortality, we come to understand our limits, not as constraints, but as the very foundation for meaningful action. This awareness of mortality, the certainty and solitude of our own death, becomes a call to action. It urges us to confront life's distractions and resist the pull of complacency. Yet living authentically isn't easy. It's a familiar cycle. Moments of clarity where we resolve to change, only to slip back into routine. Even humor, like in popular memes, reflects this struggle, highlighting how we delay meaningful action despite knowing better. But on how many occasions you had a realization like that? You sit on the edge of your bed and wonder why you don't struggle more, why you are settling for less. On how many occasions did you promise yourself that you will get better, that it's this final moment, you will stop being passive in life? And yet after some time you're again asleep, again in the state of thoughtlessness. Breaking free from this passive state is not a one-time decision. It requires continuous effort, like a spiritual battle against comfort and inertia. This ongoing struggle is what allows us to grow, to embrace our freedom and to live as the fullest versions of ourselves. There's a story about Saint Anthony, the father of monasticism, that beautifully illustrates perseverance in the face of spiritual struggle. When bringing water to his desert dwelling, the devil repeatedly tried to thwart him, setting up obstacles along the way. Yet Saint Anthony persisted, tirelessly restarting his task each time he was impeded, like a Sisyphus. This unwavering perseverance was his triumph, demonstrating that spiritual growth comes not from achieving perfection, but from refusing to give up. And this aligns with the Orthodox Christian idea of theosis, the process of becoming more like God. It's not about attaining perfection, which is unattainable in this life, but about striving towards it. This lifelong journey shapes the soul, building resilience and authenticity. The struggle itself, the battle against doubt, temptation and despair, is what molds us into better versions of ourselves. In St. Anthony's story, his determination to fetch water despite repeated setbacks reflects the essence of spiritual striving. Every small act of persistence matters. Likewise, in our own lives, it's the act of not giving up, of continuously striving for what we know to be good and true, that defines our character and allows us to grow. The Bible is rich with stories of individuals who doubted themselves, yet found strength in striving. Moses hesitated to confront Pharaoh, feeling unqualified to lead. Gideon questioned his worthiness to save Israel. Despite their doubts, they were reminded of their potential and empowered by their faith to act. These stories illustrate that striving itself carries value, even when we feel incapable or unworthy. The parable of the prodigal son also captures this theme of striving and return. The younger son squanders his inheritance, betraying his father and himself. Yet his eventual return is not a simple resolution. It's a process of acknowledgement, humility, and aspiration toward reconciliation. The cycle of falling away and coming back reflects our own lives, where striving for our ideal selves is a journey, not a destination. And the state of perfection isn't something that can be achieved in this world. Our ideal version of ourselves is something that we can aspire to be, but realistically it won't happen. And that's okay, because the struggle itself is what matters, as this struggle will build you as an authentic person and realize your potential. Consider the metaphor of a cathedral spire. In Gothic architecture, a spire stretches high toward the heavens, symbolizing human aspiration. The word spire shares roots with spiritus, meaning breath or spirit, implying an aspiration towards something higher. While a spire can never reach the sky, it remains a monument to human effort and resilience, a tribute to the desire to reach beyond what is possible. This ongoing struggle, this reaching for something greater, is what defines us as authentic, striving individuals. Well, my dear viewer, I wish you have enough strength to be more present and to have less occasions to regret. That most probably you will yet again soon forget it. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at the close of day. Rage. Rage against the dying of the light. Alrighty, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope it wasn't too depressing, because my goal wasn't to make you feel bad, but to make you feel more aware. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this video. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a like and a subscription if you want to see more content like this in the future. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.